Hi everyone. So today we are going to present demo. There is a final project demo related to our Compi 295B project. This is our project, mobile app centralized test automation platform. We are from group 37. Our advisor is Dr. Gao and we are members, myself Shrikant, then Haidang on the camera and Anand with the setup. So this is what, to start with, we will like to give you a brief discussion about our architecture that is followed in the project. So this is the automation server. Currently, we are not responsible for this automation server project. That's a different team that is going to bring. But we can mock this automation server using our REST client. Then automation server using REST services through internet will contact to Hub Manager. This is our homegrown component. And again, Hub Manager with REST services through internet will contact Selenium Grid, which is acting as mobile test hub for us. So based on the device request, which device you want to execute the test cases and all, Selenium Grid will direct the test commands to either of these Appium node. So we can test Android emulator as well as Android real device running on different various versions. As of now, we have an Android emulator that is running Android OS 4.3 and our Android real device that is running 4.4.2. So to start with, we will be showing a REST client plugin demo that is with Mozilla Firefox that will be mocking the automation server functionalities. So this is our basic setup. This is going to be acting as client, that is at automation server, and here we are having, like, for automation server can do two types of things. It can upload the test jar which has to be executed on the device, as well as it can also mock REST services that are to be coming from automation server. Then this is the machine that is currently, you can see it is acting as both Hub Manager and Grid, but in real-time setup these will be two different machines, Hub Manager different and the Grid different, but we are falling short of some resources, that's why we combined it together. Then this is one of the Appium node. As you can see, it is running one Android emulator, and this is the second Appium node which is connected to a real device running 4.4.2, and this is Appium node 2. And we created our own network setup, wireless network setup using this router. So in real sense, this will all be at remote machines. Automation server will be different, Hub Manager would be different, and Selenium Grid would be different. Similarly, Appium node, they can be two different machines running on some different instances. The scalability has been achieved on the Hub Manager side, Grid side, as well as on the Appium node side. So to start with the demo, we will show from the automation server client. So as explained on the board, this is the current setup that is already running. So the flow goes like this. When the Hub Manager is started, it looks for the connected Selenium grids, whether they are available or not, whether they are up or down. And the Selenium Grid, what it does is, as soon as the Appium nodes are started, so it tries to register the real device as well as the emulator to the Hub Manager. So the Hub Manager comes to know what all the available Android environment it has. So now we will start with automation server. That is a mock client that we have. So we are giving the feature for uploading the test jar to the test engineer so that he can select what kind of test he has to execute on the device environment. So let's see. So this is, I have an upload test, that is jar with me, and I see just open and then I select upload the jar. So I say like test jar has been uploaded successfully. So now let's go here. So this is the REST client plugin that we have for Mozilla. So this will mock the REST services call from automation server towards the Hub Manager. So now we know, like, Hub Manager knows particular connected device, whether they are available or not. So let's see what devices are available. So these are the devices that is available. If is emulator is equal to true, that means that's emulator device that is available. And if it is like is emulator equal to false, then that is real device that is available. So we know, like, these two devices are available. So let's run the test on all these two Android environments. So to run the test, we have another REST service that is a put request, and it pulls out it calls the hub manager to run particular test cases on that particular device environments. So we have a REST request body like this. First, we mention both the device environment, configuration that we want to run the device, and then there is a package name that is, as you all know, like an Android application must have a package name, an app activity, and an app name, which particular app it has to install and run the test on. Then we have test suite related details, like what are the class names that we want to be executed on the device environment. So we give the full class path. And then we have a suite name. This is a test execution suite name that this can be changed to any other name as well. So now let's try and run this. When I do a send request, so now you can see the response is returned. It says like request passed is equal to true, and suite ID is equal to 19, and execution request ID is 14, and test is built successfully. So now Hub Manager might have received the request. It's sent to the Selenium grid, and you can see here there is a custom matcher on the Selenium grid. It matches which all the device it must run on. These are the two Appium node. We gave an emulator configuration, so the test is running on the emulator. You can see that. The test is also running on the device. You can see that. So what in the Appium side we have made a changes. Whenever a test is running, so what all commands Selenium grid is trying to forward to this Appium node must be able to trace those commands right from the initiation to the completion, and then give the tracking as well as the tracing result towards the Selenium grid and through the Hub Manager. So all the tests would be running on both of these devices. And if a particular test fails to execute, then the Appium will loop for a certain time, and then it will deem the test case as failed because either the element would not have found or for some other reasons, and that would be tracked accordingly. So now the test has been completed. So test engineer must be able to see what is the summary. It can be test execution request summary. It can be suite related history, what all tests were run against that suite. It can be class related summary or a method related summary. So we are providing that granular information from the Hub Manager as well in the server side. So we have the services to mock that particular features as well. So we can first see request ID execution summary. So this was the request ID. Let us see what the summary says. Was sent. So now we say the tests were ran successfully on these two particular devices. One is emulator, one is real device, as you all know. So let us say what the suite ID execution summary says. So it says device ID 40. This is for the emulator. Then it ran two classes, class execution ID 64 and class execution ID 62, but the fail. So why it is saying the test suite has failed is one of the test class failed. So that's why test suite is failed. What about real device? The real device ID is 41. Let's see, both the test case classes are passed. That's why the suite is also passed. So now let's see what particular suite ID execution history we can get to. So we are having this REST service again. I will give the suite ID that is 19 that we came to know when we passed the request to a send. So for this particular suite, since this is the first time the test was ran, so this is the history. It was ran against these two devices, one emulator, one real device. And this is the execution start time, end time, total number of tests passed, like two test classes, one test class passed, nothing were skipped, and one test class failed. And this is the test class execution status, pass or fail. This is for one of the that is emulator, and this is for real device. Both the test classes as pass. So now let's see, take an example of one of the failed test class. Say I want to see why this test class failed. So we will take 62, that is test class execution ID. So it's again a GET request. It will give us the class related execution summary. So this was ran against emulator, suite name, suite execution ID, class name, class execution ID, and then there is one particular method with the ID 104, and that method failed. That's why the test class failed, and that's why the suite for that particular emulator failed. So let's see why that method failed. We know the method ID as 104. So let's see the method trace. It's again a GET request, send. So now we come to know, okay, this method was also ran on the emulator that belonged to particular suite, class, and the status was failed. So this was the operation. Appium tried to run each and every step on that particular emulator, and it recorded the stats. So this is the stat. Action find successful, element click successful, then find username successful, pass username value successful, password successful, but where it failed was here. It was trying to click on the reader, but because we didn't have the proper wireless internet connection, it's our own network that we created, so that's kind of intranet. So that's why we were not able to connect to the net, and that's why the status is failed. It was not able to find the element. So we have seen so far the test request execution summary, test class execution summary, and test method as well. So test engineer must be able to run the failed test suite, or a failed test class, or a failed test method. So we provide that features as well through the REST. Let's see if we want to run the test suite. So we know that in emulator the test failed, and the reason was we created our own intranet. So because of this we cannot connect to external internet, but in real time it will work fine. It will be able to access the internet. So what happened was, now if I run the failed test suite, it will only run on this particular emulator, because here the test suite failed. But the difference is it will run both the test classes here. So what happened was, some test classes might have passed and some might have failed, but both the test classes are running here. So this is time consumption. If I run the test class again, it will run here because this was the emulator that failed. But what if the test class had so many test methods? It will take time to run all the test methods. But we have zeroing on one particular test method, or what particular test methods failed, only that should be run. So we will run the failed test methods from the automation server. So this is a put request that will be sent to Hub Manager. It will run, it will find out only the Hub Manager will find out only the failed test methods that failed on that particular emulator, and it will run those only to the emulator. Real device environment will not even be touched. Let's see. So we give the request ID, the original request ID as the parameter for that. So you can see a new request ID has been generated and the test is successful. So if you come here, you can see the device is not being touched. It's only the emulator that is running. No device execution is going to be happening. So if there were total 6 test methods, 3 will not be run, only 3 failed. So only those particular test methods would be run on this particular devices or this particular emulator. So again we expect it to fail because, as I mentioned, there is no proper internet connection. It's only intranet that we have. So we have concluded our demo here. We showed you all these features that we have done on the server side. We showed the mocking REST APIs for the automation server, for the uploading test jar to the Hub Manager. Then the Hub Manager was able to execute the test scripts through Selenium Grid on the real device as well as on the emulator. Then we showed how to fetch the summary for test suite or test class or test method along with tracking or tracing libraries. Then we also showed you how to run the failed test suite or a class or a test method. So that's all we have for now. We acknowledge the help that was provided by Professor Gao, by Professor Keith Perry, and by the Appium Source community. Thanks a ton for all of you, for all of your time.